Were you guys waiting for me? I was just sitting
Did
there.
you make a wish?
I did. Can't tell though.
All right, guys. So, as you have seen, today is Caitlin Clark's 23rd birthday. Shout out to Caitlin Elizabeth Clark, who has one hellified career to start her young WNBA career. We have seen Caitlin Clark from many facets, from college all the way up to now. And just recapping from last year to now, that Caitlin Clark has done so much. Caitlin Clark has truly captured the hearts of people around the world, of all races, all colors, all creed. Now, we already know it comes with a little bit of jealousy, hatred. But hey, when you're a superstar like Caitlin, hey, you welcome all the haters. Because her mountain is not too high for her to climb, and she's still climbing. If anybody ever remember The Price is Right, where they had a little mountain guy up there, and it says, yeah, that one. So that's what I remember, because Caitlin Clark, her young career is going to be one of the most stellar careers of all time. I just feel like, just like my quarterback from Washington, Jaden Daniels, him and Caitlin Clark are just alike. They doing something unprecedented. Caitlin Clark has done everything unprecedented into the WNBA, and no matter what has thrown in her way, she was able to navigate through all of that. We've seen her get knocked down. We've seen her yell at the ref. We see her dealt with all, the scrutiny of all kind of different things. But Caitlin Clark, she stays true. Regardless if we don't approve of certain things that she may do, hey, it's Caitlin Clark. You gotta, like 50 Cent would say, love it or leave it, the underdog's on top. So just one of those things that you have to just really realize that, sorry, I was just pointing at my daughter over there. So, but you got to think about it. There's not many 23-year-olds you could say, hey, has a career like hers to play WNBA basketball and be able to have the weight of the world on her shoulders that's on her. It's astonishing. It's crazy. It's just one of those things that you have to really things you have to look at in whole. Now, I put a lot of clips together today because I wanted to highlight a lot of things about Caitlin in a whole lot of fashion. This one right here. So I put this one together, and it highlights a lot of her accolades. You see right there, it says Rookie of the Year, the Caitlin Clark effect, and she sits in the Cretan throne, so I had to put that in there saying happy birthday. Then you got Time Life magazine, and then you got Sporting News right down to the bottom. And it just goes to show you how captivating, how all her accolades. And then, especially when a Rookie of the Year, taking the 3-point record away that held by Ryan Howard. Also, taking the assist record away, being the first rookie to have a triple-double. Now she has 2. So what more can you say about her? Especially going into year 2, that we already seen her working out with Kevin Porter. We seen her in the weight room. We seen her actually doing things that she wants to improve on. The Fever has a new coach. Fever has a new GM. Fever has a new general manager. So there's a lot of things to take away for this. Plus, the Fever are already working on a new facility that's set to open in 2027. Then you have the 2025 All-Star game that's dead in the heart of Indianapolis, all because of Caitlin Clark, the effect that she brings. no other athlete. And just to highlight how special Caitlin Clark is, I'm gonna let y'all listen to Tyrese Halliburton and what he had to say about it.
Yeah, said it many times. Caitlin is amazing. She's, I think for me, getting to actually spend time around her, be around her, get to know her personally, she's just an amazing person, an amazing player. She deals with a lot there's a lot of rhetoric behind her that she really has no control over, and I think that the way she handles that is just amazing. Like, I think when it comes to the game of basketball, like, she's probably top 5 most famous people that are playing right now, just in general. That includes our league as well. And she handles it with such grace, and she's like such a cool person. At the end of the day, she's just a girl from Iowa who's just really good at basketball, and it's really cool to see what she does. And I think the Fever in general, they're like rock stars. They are a big part of the growth behind that league, and they will be a big part of that moving forward, because I think everybody can see that there's going to be a lot of success from that team moving forward, with Aaliyah and Kelsey and, new coach and new GM. Kelly just came from our organization. So I'm really excited to see how they do moving forward. But, I mean, she's a superstar, and really one of the first superstars that the W has had at that level, at the level she's at. So to see what she's doing is amazing. And, she's become a good friend of mine, over the past year, and anything that I can do to help, I will. But I don't think she necessarily needs my help by any means. She's amazing. That group is amazing. And to see what they're doing for women's basketball as a whole has been really cool. And she's spearheading that. So I'm just glad to be a part of the journey and watch what she does. I feel like I have like a front row seat, with her being in our backyard, and, the Fever doing that amazing.
So right there, you heard Tyrese Halliburton describe his friendship, his admiration for Caitlin Clark. And the one thing he said, if you're paying attention, one thing that he said, the W had never seen a player like Caitlin Clark. They never had a player like Caitlin Clark in that league. Never. So for all the ones that came, and to all the ones that's still here right now, there has never been a player with this magnitude, this polarizing than Caitlin Clark. So, yeah, we can pay homage to the other ones in the league for what they have done, but none of them tips the Richter scale like Caitlin Clark. You could sit here and bring out everything, even as great as Candace Parker was when she won MVP and Rookie of the Year. She didn't have this momentum. She didn't have this kind of pull. And we listen to Candace Parker now that she called games for On Rival, and she seemed like she has to take a shot at Caitlin Clark about giving Chelsea Gray the point guard nod all the time. I mean, you could talk about, if Caitlin Clark was in On Rival, what would the narrative be? Because she would have been making some of those passes that made Chelsea Gray look sick. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, like she said, like Tyrese Halliburton said, she handles the scrutiny so well. She handles the scrutiny like a champ. We had her when she did her Time Life magazine report. We had talks about that. She hung out with Taylor Swift. She's a Kansas City Chief fan. You heard Mad Dog Russo whining and complaining on X about it. But if he did any research, he could see that she was a long life Kansas City fan. Some people don't want her hanging out with Taylor Swift. At the end of the day, whatever your personal feelings is, me personally, I'm not in the business of condemning a person because I don't like certain people. That's just not how I am. I support the person. As long as they ain't out here making bad decisions or doing something crazy, then I'm good with it. She's a fan of Taylor Swift. She listened to Taylor Swift music. Taylor Swift invited her. She was on Travis Kelce's podcast. So that's it. That you don't want to support her, hey, that's on you. But I'm just not going to, turn my back on her just because I don't like a certain group of people. It's just what it is, So anyway, but all in all, Caitlin Clark has had a, a tremendous career so far. And like I said, this is her birthday. She's 23 years old. And some of her colleagues, you know, hey, shouted her out. Take a look. So I put this a little collage together too. If y'all look at it, it's pretty dope. I like it. I have Caitlin Clark in the background, big background. Then you have her, Damaris DeDontis posted on Instagram, gave her a shout out. Her friend Gabby Marshall, who played with her at Iowa, gave her a shout out. And you know they all close friends. They're really good friends and everything like that. And then you look at Aaliyah Boston, who actually Aaliyah Boston is calling the Big Ten. She's on the Big Ten Network calling games. She took a timeout. Shout out for her. Then you also had Flage. You know, their set pictures so iconic. That's from the All-Star game this past year in Phoenix. And I'm sure that you know Flage, you know she would love to play with Caitlin Clark. You know she's a big supporter of Caitlin Clark and everything like that. Then you got down here Tyrese Halliburton and his girlfriend along with Caitlin Clark them. So and it's pretty good. And then you have Kate Martin up to the top. You know her and Kate Martin super tight as well. So you had a lot of different things to give shout out. Now, one thing that I want to take really note of is Caitlin Clark charity. Her charity, you know, is doing something really big, and I really, really respect that because that was out this morning. And now Ari, you know, a lot of people was coming at Ari today because she said, "Well, you know, this is what the W needs." Now, I did some research, and I went through all of Ari's Twitter things. And every time somebody from the W did something, she, you know, charity or work or whatever the case, she posts the same quote. So I'm not going to make too much big about that because Ari always been a fan of Caitlin Clark's. You know, they crack jokes together and stuff like that. So I'm not going to really jump too much into that. But I do want to highlight Caitlin Clark's charity, you know, so y'all can see it real quick. Because I think it's really beautiful and really important that stuff like this gets really highlighted in the midst of the craziness that's all in the world. Something like this for kids, I'm all for it. So, as you sit right there, excuse me. If you see right there on Caitlin Clark birthday, 122 on Caitlin Clark Foundation announced a partnership with the Scholastic National Literacy Program to donate 22,000 books under resource schools focusing on Iowa and Indiana. The Caitlin Clark Foundation is expected to distribute the books to elementary and middle school, children's hospital, and other nonprofit organizations. At Caitlin Clark 22 says, reading and education has always been hugely important in my life. More quotes from Caitlin Clark in the book donation details from Caitlin Clark Foundation attached. Now, it did pull up on there, and I want to read a quick quote from her quote. Now, she also on that quote she said, "I remember picking up a book from the Scholastic flyer and how empowering that was for me as a child, and how motivated I was to read. I want to help kids have the same experience and develop their reading skills and open their imagination to dream big. I am thrilled to my foundation will support reading and literacy champions by collaborating with the Scholastic and the United States of Readers." That is really, really, really important. Really, really important. And like I said, something like this is big because the saying always goes, children are the future. The children are the future. And if you don't believe the children are the future, then hey, I don't know what to tell you. So with that being said, is that I think that Caitlin Clark has done a tremendous, tremendous service for young people, for the game of basketball, for the game, women's sports in general. Um, you know, you got Gabby Williams, you got um um oh gosh, I got a name on the top of my head. Simone Biles. They all been to a Fever game. They all support Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark supports them. The women at golf supports Caitlin Clark. She's showed up at pro-ams and stuff like that. So you got to think that no matter what, Caitlin Clark is the magnitude of women's sports. Yeah, you have other women athletes out there. And then, you have women athletes in the W. But like I said, and same thing, and I'm going to echo what Tyrese Halliburton said. The WNBA has never, ever seen a player with this magnitude as Caitlin Clark. Now, my final piece of video, since I'm into this, is that Caitlin Clark, on her 23rd birthday, she was in the gym working out, and she shot 50 of 54 threes. Now, if you don't think that her and Sabrina enter that NBA All-Star and she won't win that contest, you're sadly mistaken. 54 out of 50 out of 54 threes. Well, again, like, comment, subscribe. It's your boy, Livewire Sports Media, and I'm going to hit you with the final video, and you already know what I say at the end. Until the next episode, we out. Let me make sure I have it in here that I don't want. Oh, before I show that, I have to show my very. It's a special video clip of when Caitlin first came into the league. They played Connecticut, and she Erica Wheeler got the rebound and dribbled up the court and passed it back to her. I think it's one of my favorite plays of Caitlin Clark. Take a look.
Bonner gets denied by Boston. Wheeler finds Clark from the logo.
Look at Wheeler staring to the right side, knows who's there, drop pass behind. Could be the deepest shot we've seen Caitlin Clark make as a pro. Big one.
And this building is rock.
I love that. That is one of my favorite shots of all. Just seeing her knock down that shot like that. And that's really great. Like I said, that is one of my favorite shots of Caitlin Clark. I could watch that all over. That's when she first started in the W. It's like, I think it's what, the first game of the season, I think, something like that. First or second game of the season, and she got down there, and Erica Wheeler was driving, and she just took that pass and bounced it back to her, and she just pulled up. Tell you. But all in all, man, I just think that Caitlin Clark is on the right path. She's been all over the place all off season. Despite her, they want her to play in a rival, and she decided to take a break from it. And honestly, I still hold true to this right now. I don't think she's going to play in a rival. I just really don't feel like she's going to play in a rival. I think by her commitment to the second season, and probably her, if they decide that they make it deep in the playoff and they win the WNBA championship, I don't think she's going to play in a rival. There's no benefit for that because the CBA is coming out. She'll be able to make more money, and she won't even need a rival, And people will want to see her and say, yeah, it's good for her to be in there. But hey, it's what it is. But again, Here's the video of Caitlin Clark workout video for her birthday. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Till the next episode. Peace.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats, you know that we gotta run it back. Whether on the field or the court, you know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.